Only Tampa Bay and the Yankees have scored more runs. Pedroia struggling a bit, but he was 3 for 6 here last night. Stammen has him reaching, and then he reaches for the comebacker. Nationals defensively tonight, a shift in the outfield. Adam Dunn's right wrist is getting some attention for the Nats. So Josh Willingham's in left. Elijah Duke's in right. Will Nieves behind the plate. Everybody else the same as last evening. Adam Dunn, Manny Acta, there you see the right wrist is taped, is available if the Nats needed a pinch hit or a pinch walk or a sacrifice fly. And on one pitch, J.D. Drew is gone. 2 outs.
Well, he did this a lot against the New York Yankees. He got a lot of ground balls. Then he got a lot of help out there in the outfield by Willie Harris. But whenever you're throwing a lot of ground balls and you're making them swing and miss, they did not get a lot of great swings against Stammen up in New York. Hopefully he has that kind of stuff tonight.
9 ground ball outs in that game.
That means his changeup was working and the big curveball. Those are all, you know, in his 6 starts, he's only in 34 innings, given up 2 home runs. And I don't want to jinx him, so I really didn't want to bring that up. But that just means they're not getting a lot of great swings on pitches up in the zone.
Kevin Youkilis takes a strike, and Stammen's off to a sharp start here. Number 7 in the league at 318 is Youkilis, and he's the American League leader with a .445 on base average. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. And Craig Stammen starts off the way he pitched in Yankee Stadium last week. A perfect top of the first. Not situationally hitting very well. They're getting some hits, they're scoring some runs, but they need to be better in certain situations. Interesting lineup. Manny puts Willie Harris in the leadoff spot tonight. Christian Guzman bats second. And then Nick Johnson's the cleanup man. Willingham, Dukes, Hernandez, and Nieves. The Nats loading up on right-handed batters against a left-hander and John Lester, but the leadoff man is left-handed. Now, Rob, with this kid's talent, how do you explain 5 and 6 with a 4.69 ERA?
He has had a roller coaster of a year. He's had some great games. He's had some awful games, but that's going to happen. He was 16 and 6 last season, so I'm sure he was heavily scouted. And a lot of teams, I'm sure, are making adjustments to John Lester, but he's got amazing stuff. No-hitter type stuff. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
25 years of age, 6'2", 190. Willie Harris gets under one, hits the ball high and far to right center. Jacoby Ellsbury in the sunshine for the first down. And now the onslaught of right-handers continues. Guzman, Zimmerman, and then after Johnson, a whole bunch of righties.
Here's the PNC Bank breakdown of John Lester. We'll give you the second one first. This is his 74th career start. He's 32-14, but 6 of his 14 starts this year, he's allowed 5 or more earned runs, and that's not like this guy that went 16-6 last year and threw a no-hitter. That's your number 1 down there. He's already at 25 years old throwing a no-hitter against the Kansas City Royals.
Guzman, first pitch swinging, foul ball. Now, when we play Chicago, are you going to do 25 or 6-4?
I might.
Okay.
I might.
I just thought
Very good.
I just thought I'd plant that seed.
Good music reference there, Mr. Carpenter.
Okay.
Very nice.
You've gotten very numerical on us lately. I like that.
You know, I'm trying to break it down. I know a lot of people are fantasy baseball people, and they like statistics, and I do too.
But statistics do not rule in the world of Rob Dibble or Bob Carpenter. We know
No, they don't. They don't. But in John Lesser's case, this is a cancer survivor. Had lymphoma diagnosed on him a few years ago. He's come back. He's an amazing individual at 25 years old.
Guzman a bouncer. It'll be cut off by Kevin Youkilis. Got rid of it in a hurry. 2 outs. Red Sox in the middle of the pack. Defensively, American League 7th. They've made only 40 errors all year. Jason Bay has 6 assists in left field. J.D. Drew has 4 in right field. Their infield is reliable, although Nick Green's had some glitches. He does have 9 errors at short. There's Kevin Youkilis, who plays right next to him. Third base, first base. Youkilis happy to be in there no matter where Terry Francona wants him.
And Youkilis came up as a third baseman before they stuck him over there. There's Big Poppy to get his bat in the lineup. They're putting him at first base. Doesn't do a lot of that now that he's a full-time DH. So that could be a plus for us.
Yes. By the way, he's also known by the name David Ortiz. And Zimmerman bats 2 for his last 20, but 2 for 3 with a walk last night. Let's hope Ryan is climbing out of that deep hole he's been in. Curveball for a strike, and the count's even 1-1. Ryan still 8th in the league in runs, 7th in hits. Fastball by him, 95 and up.
Well, he does have a 95-mile-an-hour plus fastball. He's got a great curveball and a great changeup. And here's the 1-1 fastball heater right by Ryan Zimmerman. Northrop Grumman on the pitch track.
That's a breaking ball that keeps punching out Zimmerman. Ryan really is not seeing the breaking stuff at all these days.
Don had a little bit of discomfort on his wrist last night after he took a swing on the 4th inning. So we sent him to a hand specialist. He went and had an MRI scan and everything, and he's good to go. he's available for the game today. And, we decide, since, they're pitching Leicester, just to give him the day off. He'll be back out there tomorrow.
Of course, this is Adam's first day off this season. I spoke with him after he got back from seeing the doctor in Baltimore, and he assures me that he is 110%. Bob?
Well, I think he needs a day off. Ryan Zimmerman probably needs another one or two somewhere along the line. Thank you, Debbie. And now we've got the stage set for Jason Bay and Craig Stammen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncer left side. Zimmerman on the run. That means the throw will be right on target. 4 in a row. 3 on the ground. And when I told you that Craig Stammen had a perfect first inning, I had no idea how accurate that would be. 8 pitches, 8 strikes, and first pitch strikes to all 3 batters. Here's David Ortiz. First appearance of this series. At least at times this year, a shell of the hitter he has been in years past. 287 career batting average. Only 6 home runs this year. 295 career. He's one behind Adam Dunn.
Well, in his 12-year career, he's only started 226 games at first base. Since he's been with the Red Sox, he has only started 103 games at first base. That's over 6+ seasons.
And they shift on him the way they do against Adam Dunn and Ryan Howard and some of the other big left-handed batters. We mentioned they're 1 home run apart. RBIs. David Ortiz needs 1 for 1,000. Slugging percentage better. Dunn hits homers, though, more frequently. Nearly 3 at bats quicker. 1 and 2. David Ortiz is 3 for 8 with a homer, 2 RBIs over his last 2 games played.
He had gone 150 at bats or so without hitting a home run before he got his first one this year.
Rolls over that ground ball, and Nick Johnson has it.
And now he's got 5 home runs in his last around 70 to 75 at bats. So he's been hitting more home runs more frequently, but for a guy you're paying $13 million a year to have 6 home runs and 230 at bats, I'm sure the Red Sox would like a little more production out of the big man.
Here's Jason Varitek riding a 3-game hitting streak after going 1 for 4 with an RBI single and a sac fly last night. 37 years of age, back for his 13th go-round with the Red Sox after many thought he might not be there. Boy, Stammen really has command tonight. But remember one thing. This is the best team, and you spell that capital T, capital E, capital A, capital M in the American League. They're going to take a good look at him the first time around the batting order. He's dominating right now, but that second time around, maybe the third time around, will be very interesting to watch. Right now, it's a discovery process for them. They've never seen him in person. And I fear this ball club more than any other for something like that.
Well, and the Yankees, after the first couple of games when we played the New York Yankees, they were raving about our pitching staff, saying, listen, the scouting reports didn't really match the player. Same thing with the Blue Jays, and I'm sure when this series is over, the Red Sox will feel the same way.
Varitek, easy fly ball, left field. You don't mind those kind of fly balls. And so 6 in a row for Stammen to start the game. Nick Johnson, he's a cleanup man tonight, followed by Josh Willingham and Elijah Dukes. Never been easier to take in a ball game for you Nets fans. See for yourself at StubHub.com, official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Washington Nationals. Red Sox finale of the series tomorrow night. John Smoltz, Jordan Zimmerman. And then it's on to Baltimore for 3. We've got Interleague for you. DC 50 joins us on Sunday. And then on to Florida. Then a reminder, Nats Extra on Masson 2 all weekend long from Baltimore, pregame and postgame. Here's Nick on base, 12 of his last 21 plate appearances. He hangs in so well against left-handers and hits the ball the other way. They cannot shift on a hitter like this. 5th in the league in on-base percentage, 6th in walks. He's a great combination of hitting ability and selectivity. Not great success, but solid against good Boston teams in his time with the Yankees, and 4 games now with the Nats. By the way, the original Nationals from 1901 to 1960, 629 and 664 against the Boston Red Sox over all those years. So 35 games under 500. Senators didn't do too well against him either. Senators were 87 and 110 against the Red Sox from 1961 to 72. In fact, the last time a Washington-based team beat Boston was September 18th of 1971, when the infamous Bill Gogolewski threw 5 innings, got some bullpen help, and beat the Red Sox.
Bill Gogolewski?
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting pitching matchup that night. Gogolewski went 5, and then left-hander Joe Gerzenda went 4 to earn the save. Anybody named G with the letter G can pitch tonight? We don't have any in the bullpen. 2-2 to Nick. Breaking ball. And a one-hopper. Nick Green was playing up the middle. Verizon Wireless brings us Wired Wednesday. Tonight, we've got the skipper on, Manny Acta. Manny will talk with us shortly, and we'll get a chance to listen in on a few things here and there. That was so funny. I think it was, what, Citi Field a couple of weeks ago, right in the middle of his discussion with us. Manny was flashing signs.
Yeah, he's a little busy during the game.
Managers have lots to do.
It's always nice to speak with Manny Acta.
Now, if we were in the American League ballpark, he'd have 1 or 2 fewer things to do. There's Josh Willingham. Josh, a walk, 0 for 3 last night. That's a good take. Ball under his hands, 1-1. Yankees are at Atlanta again tonight. Chamberlain, Kawakami. And of course, Tyler Clippard recalled today on the heels of 19 innings down on the farm when he did not give up an earned run.
Was he starting down there or relieving?
He was relieving.
Okay, so they were grooming him to come back up here as a reliever. Now, didn't he start here last year?
Twice.
Okay. So that's the same thing. You don't want to have to take a Chiron Martis or a Craig Stammen or even Ross Detweiler and say, hey, you know what, we're bringing back Olson, even though some of these guys have been pitching very well, but we're going to throw you out there in the bullpen, because a lot of the guys in the bullpen have not been doing a consistent or a consistently good job.
Yeah. Kip Wells designated for assignment after going 0-2 with a 6.49 ERA in 23 games. Giving up hits wasn't the big thing for Wells. He only had an opponent's batting average of 237, but 18 walks and 18 strikeouts did not help. First base runner of the game is a selective hitter himself, Josh Willingham, walking for the 23rd time this year.
No, and it's very good, Bob, to have options like that, especially with so many youngsters. Detweiler is so young. Martis is young. Zimmerman's young. They all have amazing stuff. Really just don't have a lot of experience. And I don't know if you want to, stop their progression and evolution as starters and say, well, he's got a great arm, we'll throw him out in the bullpen. You want those guys to be prepared next year when you make a run for the title.
And one start does not a promotion make. But then you look at what Garrett Mock did a couple of nights ago, a 10 strikeout complete game performance. And yeah, I know you talk about this all the time, Rob. Competition is good.
Absolutely. Who wants to get sent back to riding buses?
Who's going to press you? Press the next guy. It's good. Elijah Dukes with a 1-0 count and a breaking ball that stays outside.
Now you're talking about Drew Storen. You're talking about Strasburg when he comes in. I mean, you're talking about some very fine young players that are going to be competing heavily for jobs in the next few years.
Dukes at 246. Broken bat. The barrel of the bat hits the shortstop, and the ball goes into left field. Nick Green had the bat and the ball right at him, and fortunately he appears to be okay. But how do you deal with something like that? We've seen him come close to that happening before, but the ball and the bat on the exact same line.
And I tell you, Bob, this is one of my biggest fears watching games the last few years. These bats that continually go farther and farther away from home plate, and it hits Nick Green, goes right up on him. Thank goodness this ball does not, or this bat does not injure him.
Unbelievable.
Yes, baseball is being played, but that man's safety comes first. Wow. Whew.
I had never seen anything like that before. 2 on, 1 out. Here's Anderson Hernandez. Fortunately, the pointed end of that bat did not get him. And let's see if the Nats can take advantage of a big break.
And we're not just worried about the players. We're worried about the fans, too.
Absolutely. There's taking advantage of the break.
Yep.
And a base hit puts Washington on top 1-0. Anderson Hernandez with his 18th RBI.
Well, back to baseball right here. It's a good fastball in the inner half. Actually, it might have been a cutter or breaking ball. Anderson Hernandez fights it off for a single into left field that will score 1 and move both of the runners up, first and second, 1 out.
Will Nieves will be next.
Elijah's probably saying, I'm sorry, man. I didn't, want to impale you.
Well, and Nick Green probably thinking, it takes a man that strong for something like that to happen, Elijah Dukes.
Well, and how about the 90+ mile an hour buzzsaw that came in on his hands by Lester? But yeah, I mean, to get back to the fans, I mean, it's a fear of mine because these bats have become dangerous projectiles over the last few years, the way they're being made, and they need to have some kind of regulations where they check the bats before they even put them into the game.
We'll see it again, I'm sure, in this ballpark on highlight shows.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, you remember the bat that just went down and knocked Tommy Lasorda down when he was coaching in an All-Star game. Obviously, you're old enough to remember Steve Yeager getting a shard of bat in his throat in the on-deck circle when he was back with the Dodgers, and that led to better catching gear. But geez, the bat broken by Elijah Dukes, and it goes right after Nick Green, and he deflects it. And the ball gets through there.
And a bouncer. Maybe poetic justice for Green, who gets to engineer a double play. But the Nats get a break. They score a run. Manny Acta joins us on Wired Wednesday in a moment. On the Anderson Hernandez base hit 1-0, top of the third. Manny Acta kind enough to join us from the dugout. Hey Manny, I want to ask you about your lineup tonight. We all know about your thoughts on Adam Dunn. Our listeners have already heard that. Why did you put Willie Harris up in the leadoff spot against a left-hander like this?
Well, I don't think John Lester has been as dominant against left-handers as most lefties are so far. I mean, he's a very tough guy anyway. So I thought that Willie gives us good or bad anyways, regardless who's on the mound. And you know, we had to do it because Adam's not here. If Adam would have been here, then the lineup would have stayed the same. And
moving Nick Johnson behind Ryan Zimmerman to try to give him a little bit more protection. How are you trying to getting Ryan Zimmerman out of the slump he's been in?
Well, he's working very hard with Rick, and you know, he's very even keel and takes things day to day. What we're trying to do is Nick is a guy who could really protect him in this lineup. Ryan, it's not like Nick and Dunn that can protect themselves by just walking, and we want him swinging the bat, and we want to put probably our best hitter in the lineup behind him, so he has to see some pitches.
Craig Stammen, 20 pitches, 17 strikes, 6 first pitch strikes, Manny. This is the first batter, Jacoby Ellsbury. He's fallen behind tonight. Do you like what you see so far?
Yes, that's what we wanted to do, to pound the strike zone, and hopefully he can keep throwing that sinker over the plate, and maybe second, third time through the order he's able to make the adjustment if they adjust to him.
Manny, I don't want to speculate on who might be moved out of the rotation when Greg Olson comes back, but isn't it nice to have options and have to make a move like that when Olson comes off the disabled list?
Yes, it is very nice to have those options that we didn't have in the past, and it's refreshing to have these young guys. I mean, Olson's still 25 years old, and we're going to probably move one of these guys either to the pen or send them down to AAA, guys that are even younger than that. So it's very refreshing to be able to do that, and you know, the future's bright here.
Jacoby Ellsbury, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stammen gets him to foul one off. Manny, we'll let you go in a minute. Your thoughts on that bat play heading for the shortstop, Nick Green. Does baseball need to do something about this maple bat problem?
Well, I think right now they're in the process of doing something. That's why you see that this year no bats are allowed to be on just one color specifically, because they're doing some research on it. But that was very scary. It is the first time since way back when I believe Dave Magadan, who's here today, couldn't field the ground ball that cost the Mets, I believe, the New York Mets a ball game. But you know, you've seen a lot of those things. Those are very scary. That bat went all the way to shortstop. Imagine if it goes right back to the pitcher, who's a lot closer than the shortstop, and you know, somebody can be stabbed to death. So it's very scary.
Manny, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you later after this series is tied tonight.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Manny.
Manny Acta, always great with us, always accommodating, always positive, and his pitcher's looking good. 7 straight to start the game, and here's Nick Green. Green slaps it, just foul. Quickly 0-2.
And we've talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, Bob, about keeping the ball down, because even if you get a mistake and it's down,
you give up singles.
You give up singles and maybe doubles down the line, but you don't give up the long ball. And I think that's, you know, this guy's got great stuff, but I think he continues to progress towards becoming a every 5th day major league pitcher. And I think competition is great.
Yeah,
as we've said before, I don't want to be the guy that gets sent to the bullpen or sent down. So it really pushes these guys to another level.
He keeps pitching like this, that ball girl's going to win a Gold Glove by the end of the night. Swing and a miss on a big breaking ball. Nick Green will just go ahead and leave the field, and that's 8 straight. And now John Lester, the pitcher, coming up. John Lester, by the way, 0 for 11 career.
Great breaking ball right here. He's got a 12-6, which means 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Here's the nice Craig Stammen all-together delivery. You see the arms and the hands separate from the glove. Nice over the top. Nice follow through on the breaking ball. You see that elbow with the knee.
Ooh, Lester goes up and takes a nice swing. John Lester 0 for 2 this year with a sacrifice.
Well, you like your pitcher to swing at the first pitch, whether he's in the National League or hitting an interleague, because he's probably going to get a get-me-ahead fastball by the pitcher. He gets another fastball. Why don't you show him the big curve right here?
Hello, Uncle Charlie. Goodbye, Red Sox. Top of the 3rd is over. Stammen with 3 strikeouts, and the Nats right-hander, 25 years of age, looking great right now. Caps here at the ballpark and honor some of our Army and Armed Forces heroes who are here. Get your family fun pack tickets. Bring the whole gang out to the ballpark. Nats on top 1-0, and for all Sunday games, you can get a $14 upper right field terrace ticket or $25 lower reserved either side. And with each ticket, a hot dog, a non-alcoholic drink, and chips. Minimum 2 tickets per purchase. Bring the family out. Pre-game autographs. Kids run the bases afterwards. 888-632-NATS or Nationals.com.
Well, let's see what John Lester has in store for our pitcher, Craig Stammen, after he struck him out on 3 pitches.
Armed Forces Foundation guys here tonight. Craig Stammen does have a hit. He's 1 for 6. He's a 167 career hitter.
Well, he gets the Powder River on the first one.
Better be swinging here. Oh my. That ball narrowly missed Nick Johnson. Guzman scrambling. I mean to tell you, Nick Johnson is right there on the rail.
Christian's going, I just saw my life pass before my eyes.
Good to see everybody laughing.
Yep.
You better pay attention when a pitcher's hitting. He better run hard to first base, and that'll be a base hit. Craig Stammen is now 2 for 7 in his career, so he's batting up around 280. How about that?
Well, he got 3 straight fastballs. The third one a little bit in on his hands, but he got enough of it to send it out. Look at this, 93 to 95 right there in on your hands. Big boy from Ohio swinging a heavy lumber bat.
Yeah, he's got a nice swing.
Yes, he does. He's a big kid. I bet he played football in Ohio.
6'3", 200.
That must be shrinking because I see him eye to eye down in the locker room. And he's a big kid.
286 hitter, Craig Stammen. There's Willie Harris, flied to center first time.
286 hitter.
That's why my career was pretty short. I was one of those guys who had his batting average figured out before he got to first base. And needless to say, at first base, Stammen has a very short lead.
I'm the kind of guy who couldn't figure out his own earned run average.
Yeah.
So go figure. I tried to keep it low.
Covering the bases tomorrow, presented by Home Depot. The Home Depot with Willie Harris. Let's see what surprises Debbie Taylor has in store for us. If Willie Harris gaps one, Craig Stammen better be running fast. That's a bouncer right side. David Ortiz to the shortstop. And they'll get the lead runner on a 1-6 fielder's choice. 3-6, pardon me.
Easy there, Craig. Don't get hurt.
Always helps when you're a left-handed throwing first baseman.
Big Poppy on the play right here. Second base, it rolls up his glove. He grabs it barehanded. I got it. And then he throws out Craig Stammen at second, but they cannot turn the double play.
Well, if you can't advance the runner, you're happy exchanging those 2 runners. Harris for Stammen. And here's Guzman, who's liable to send Willie Harris over to third base with a line drive here. Guzman pulled it first time up. Kevin Youkilis cut it off. Big gap in right center. A lot of room down the left field line. Willie Harris, a good lead. He's 5 out of 6 this year. Lester, long look, and then he comes home 2-0. The Nats do not get to disrupt other ball clubs with their speed very often, but it's good when it happens, and this could be one of those times.
Well, we got a lot of speed in the lineup tonight. Throw in Dukes in there and Hernandez and Nieves down the bottom. This is maybe our fastest lineup that we can throw at another team.
Nats about hit the Red Sox 3-0 and lead 1-0 here, bottom of the third, on a second inning flare to left center by Anderson Hernandez.
And you just saw a very good veteran catcher go out there and basically lay down the law to John Lester and say, hey, listen, you're better than this. Start throwing some strikes right here. We don't want to go down that road, those 6 starts where you've given up 5 or more earned runs.
22 strikes, 16 balls so far. And many base runners feel that if you don't have to dive back in, your lead wasn't big enough. Willie goes right back out there. His front foot is dead even with the cut as it circles around to that infield grass.
Well, and the biggest thing about speed is it disrupts your flow as a pitcher.
Lots of hitting room over there for Guzman. Willie gets a great break, and Varitek will not throw. Willie Harris, 6th of the year, and the Nats 24th.
Well, you see this big slow delivery by John Lester. Willie Harris is off on first movement, gets a fantastic jump when Lester lifts that front leg to go towards home. And there was no throw. That bag was stolen easily off the pitcher. So they must have some scouting reports on John Lester.
3-0 to Guzman. Could they turn him loose if he gets a belt high fastball here? It's outside. First and second, one out. And Ryan Zimmerman coming up. Now, in the Rob Dibble school of thought, I'm going to jinx this from happening by mentioning that Zimmerman has grounded into 13 double plays this year.
There you go.
When I mention something, according to my partner, the opposite happens. He's tied with Miguel Tejada for the dubious league lead, so he'll probably hit one out of the park.
Thus, I absolutely agree with what Ray Knight said in the pregame, is that, listen, situationally, it's first and second right here, one out. You cannot hit into a double play. So it's got to be in your head.
And the way you usually avoid that is by not pulling the ball.
Absolutely. So you're trying to push this, get it through the hole, which is a huge hole, by the way, between Big Papi and Pedroia. And Big Papi does not have that much fielding prowess. He's not going to have great range over there first. So that's the way you want to try to go with the ball. And you see the speed is driving John Lester crazy, and that's a great thing right there, where now he's wasting so much time with Willie Harris and now Christian Guzman that he walked Christian because of what Willie was doing at first and then stealing second.
Zimmerman thinking right field. Nice to see the Nats being the disruptors rather than the disrupted for a change. And by the way, Jason Varitek this year has now thrown out only 6 of 54 opposing base runners, 11%. Now, most of that not his fault. We know what a good catcher he is.
Well, and I'm sure John Lester has to know those numbers, but also, you know what? John Lester can help his catcher by not having a big high leg kick with the guy on first.
And odds are John Lester is responsible for some of those numbers.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you're lifting your leg like that, that's the way I used to do it, but I'm right-handed. Lester's looking right at you, lifts that front leg up, and takes about 2 seconds to throw to home. Now, there's a nice slide step.
Zimmerman had to.
And I almost think that was not intentional at Zimmerman, but the slide step, because they probably thought this is a good running count. Slide step, the throw is up to try to give Varitek maybe a chance to throw out the runner. So I don't think that was intended that close at Zimmerman, more so to help out his catcher.
Struck him out looking on a backdoor breaking ball first time. Varitek sets up outside. And Zimmerman can't reach it. And Ryan's now 2 for his last 22.
Let's give you the pitch sequence on Northrop Grumman right here. There's a foul off on the 93 heater. Going to come back with a heater inside 94. He's going to throw 94 up and in and then go fastball down and away. 94. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Start looking for pitches too. You're going to be susceptible to that fastball.
All right, here's Nick Johnson with 2 outs. Hit the ball sharply, but at the shortstop, Nick Green first time. Boy, you'd love to see a hit here because the speed on the bases is tremendous.
Yeah. With
Guzman 90 feet behind Willie Harris. With 2 outs, a gapper could make it 3-0.
Well, and the thing about Ryan Zimmerman, too, it's easy to sit up here and say, well, he's doing this, he's doing that. And I won't do that because I wasn't a hitter at the major league level. But I do know the psyche of the hitters. And he's got to relax himself, try to find that muscle memory when he was going through that 30-game hit streak. What was working for you back then? What was your approach at the plate back then?
Nick takes one that gets the inside corner. By the way, 21-year veteran Bob Davidson has the plate tonight. Jeff Nelson, Mark Carlson, crew chief Tim Cheetah on the bases. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick Johnson. He's driven in 33 runs this year. Close enough to be swinging on 1 and 2. Mets have picked up a run against St. Louis and lead 1-0 early.
How about the game Joel Pinheiro threw last night? He was unbelievable for the Cardinals.
And they lead the Central by 2 over Milwaukee. Brewers have lost 4 straight. Cubs are 3.5 back. They lost Reed Johnson today. He went on the DL.
Pinheiro was a ground ball machine.
1 and 2 to Nick. That'll even the count. Marlins have a couple of early runs against Baltimore. And they were stung by some pitching news today, Rob. The Marlins.
Yes, Lindstrom, their closer, will be done for the next, at least shut down for the next 6 weeks with a strained elbow that he hurt in last night's ball game.
Yankees and Braves scoreless in the 3rd. 1-0 Nats here. Nick Johnson inside out swing out to short. Tricky little play for Green, and he gets Nick. The Nats had 2 on, 1 out. Couldn't get the ball out of the infield. Leading 1-0 after 3.
Fourth inning. Now Craig is working off a stellar performance against the New York Yankees, a shutout in New York, and he said he wanted to build on that start.
The Yankees have the mystique and they have the big time free agents, and the Red Sox are pretty similar to that. Having success against them, lets you know that you can have success against any team in the big leagues, really. So, it's not like it's changed facing the Red Sox or any other team, but there's just a little bit more confidence even in my last couple starts that I've pitched better. So that's probably more confidence than what teams I'm facing.
Him too if there was any one player on the Red Sox that he was looking forward to facing, and he said Kevin Youkilis, of course, that Ohio connection. Youkilis going to Cincinnati, and of course Craig going to the University of Dayton. Although they never played against each other, this was the first time tonight that they got to face each other. So a lot of Ohio out there, guys.
Thank you, Debbie. Now the crowd getting into it. The "Let's Go Red Sox" chant. The Nats fans are trying to boo them down. Rob, that might be the most articulate soundbite, as we call it, that I've ever heard from a young pitcher. You talk about a guy who is well-spoken. Craig Stammen, really strong. 2-1 now.
Well, he's college educated. You know how those college educated guys are. I don't know.
Evidently he went to class, huh?
Very nice. Very nice.
2-1 to Pedroia. Hit a comebacker first time. This time fair ball. Zimmerman can't get it. That ball's going to hit the short wall and bounce out in front of Josh Willingham. And the Red Sox have their first base hit. It's almost as if their fans got it going and willed them into their first base hit of the night.
Well, we also talked about this too. The second and third time through the lineup tonight would be the biggest test for Craig Stammen. Right there you see Pedroia just sneaking inside the bag. Great effort by Ryan Zimmerman. Even though he's not hitting, he's still playing a great third base, giving a great effort out there.
Right now he's trying to shake the dirt out of his pants leg. And it'll be a runner at second, nobody out. J.D. Drew. This is not your typical hit a little ground ball to advance the runner type number 2 hitter. But he'll do just that on a sharply hit ball to Hernandez. The tying runs at third base with 1 out. Now, based on Ray Knight's pregame comments, what Rob and I have talked about in the early going of this game, let's compare what the Red Sox do in a situational hitting area and what the Nationals just did.
And fundamentally, too, a lot of these guys have played together with the Red Sox for a long time. And they're very unselfish. They're thinking of going to the playoffs. They're not thinking about trying to win every game. They know they have a good ball club. They have an excellent pitching staff. Even with Daisuke Matsuzaka on the disabled list, I did the numbers today. They have a pitching staff right now with 626 wins under their belt.
Wow.
And over 1,000 starts. So when you have that kind of pitching staff, you know you're going to win a lot of ball games. So they just do the things they need to do to stay in games and win ball games. And Youkilis saying that pitch was a little bit low. And Bob Davidson saying it was right there. You not agreeing.
Right where?
Right where? Right there?
And now he's hearing it from the dugout. Bob Davidson has a very short fuse. We've seen that over the years. That's Dave Magadan.
Yep.
And it looks like Magadan, the hitting coach, has been thrown out. Umpires do not like ball and strike confrontations, and they don't put up with much. And this is one of the quicker veteran umpires out there.
Dave Magadan, an excellent hitting instructor, and I'm sure he's just asking where was the pitch. And then I saw what Terry Francona was doing. He was saying, listen, the game's out there. Get out of our dugout. And that's what I'm sure he's saying right now.
And this is getting heated. Terry Francona is hot. And Bob Davidson probably said to Dave Magadan, how can you see the pitch from that dugout over there?
Well, here's the pitch on the Northrop Grumman pitch track. It is down, but we'll take it as a strike on our side. But Kevin Youkilis is just asking, okay, where was the pitch? But then Bob Davidson is listening to some of the heckling coming out of the Boston dugout, and that is what got a lot of the coaches dander up. And what Terry Francona was saying as I was reading his lips is, okay, once you told us to be quiet, it was over. But you continued jawing into the dugout, and ultimately Dave Magadan got tossed.
Yeah. There's no question that over recent years, some umpires have become very confrontational. That's a breaking ball outside, 3-1.
But I've known Bob Davidson for a long time. I wouldn't say he's one of them. I think he lets an awful lot go on, so we don't know what was said towards him. And he may know he might have missed that one. He can't see the pitch track that we get to see.
If he missed it, it's already been 4 balls to Youkilis. Now he walks anyway. First and third, 1 out. Most dangerous Boston hitter Jason Bay coming up. And here we are at Nationals Park, a second consecutive night with a full house. Will tonight's crowd surpass the 41,517? A record for last night. We'll see. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, and our Masson HD crew here on South Capitol Street. The hitter is Bay, who grounded out to Ryan Zimmerman first time up. By far the longest inning for Stammen. He'd only thrown 33 pitches in 3 frames. And right now he's having a hard time spotting his fastball on the outer half of the plate.
Well, Will needs to go out there and settle him down. If he throws another ball right here, maybe his rhythm was disrupted a little bit by that argument. Got to get his head concentrating on that target again. Nice job.
They keep statistics on everything.
It's unbelievable.
Dave Magadan's 5th career ejection, 2nd time as a coach.
Where do you keep that stat?
I don't know. They evidently have a bad boy file they can access.
Wow. Okay, this is the dossier on.
What's he now? 170 behind Bobby Cox or something?
Yeah, he's got a long way to go.
Bobby's the king. 2 balls and a strike to Jason Bay. That was a half swing and a foul. And the count's 2-2.
Well, he's definitely got Jason Bay off balance right now mentally. And keep him right there.
This is a big spot early in the game. Nats have taken the lead. Can Stammen keep the Red Sox from tying or going ahead?
That looks like a changeup from Stammen to a righty, but it was up. He's got an excellent one, and that may have confused the heck out of Bay. Fastball in.
Got him on a breaking ball. 78 miles an hour. Stammen had him way out ahead for strikeout number 4.
What I really like about this at bat with Jason Bay, the number 4 hitter, he's just killing people right now. Northrop Grumman on this 12-6 breaking ball, looking fastball, looking changeup, and then you pull out your best out pitch, which is his breaking ball. Didn't show it to him last time, and you blow him away with it. And that's pitching at this level.
2 outs, 2 on. David Ortiz grounded out to Nick Johnson. Anderson Hernandez is 30 feet out into right field. Guzman plays up the middle, 0-away, ball 1.
Now this is the guy you need to get. That strikeout won't mean anything if this guy gets a 2-out base hit. Balls behind Big Papi. 2-0, David Ortiz. A very, very experienced clutch hitter.
Look at that catcher, pitcher, shortstop, center fielder in just about the same line.
Yeah. It's like a diamond defense.
2-0 to Ortiz, and he was pumping. Not happy with himself for fouling that one off.
Let's talk about David Ortiz here. First 49 games, last 14, really stroking the ball. The slugging percentage, 288 and then 769 when he's right.
Started his career with Seattle, traded him to Minnesota as a player to be named later for Dave Hollins in September of '96.
No, he's way behind the fastball right here. You do not want to throw him a breaking ball or something off speed and help him. I would try to elevate this pitch. I don't think he has the bat speed to catch up to it.
Two-two pitch. Fastball away. Close. Probably a better pitch than the one that was called a strike on Youkilis.
But like in basketball, if you work the umpires, you work a few calls your way. 2-2. Beautiful pitch by Stammen.
According to the pitch track, Bob Davidson got it right.
Well, rookie versus the veteran.
The runner at first will be moving, so Nick Johnson backs up to play behind Kevin Youkilis.
Well, this is where I break out that big breaking ball. I don't think Big Papi will look for that right here.
Center field. Willie Harris, no chance. A changeup that was sitting up, and David Ortiz hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, he starts him off with a changeup. He's going to come back, throw another one down low, 90-mile-an-hour fastball away, 2-0. Gets back in there with a fastball, another fastball, not even close on these fastballs, by the way. Then he's going to throw him a neat changeup that with that slow bat speed, he crushes. He did him a favor throwing him a changeup.
David Ortiz, number 296. And now Jason Varitek pops the ball up into center. Boy, changeups to left-handed hitters like Ryan Howard and David Ortiz have gone a long way against young Nationals pitchers this year. Learned the hard way for young pitchers. Craig Stammen, where would you rate the changeup as far as his best pitches?
Well, you know, we've talked about this. He'd only given up 2 home runs in 6 starts, but all of those mistakes that he's been making and not getting burned with were down low. And a guy like David Ortiz, you sped up his bat with the changeup. He was nowhere near catching up to your fastball, and then you put it up and elevate it in the zone. He hits it for a home run. He'll learn from that, but you also, as a pitcher, have to recognize, is this guy on my fastball, or is he really late on my fastball? And I think, you know, Craig Stammen and even Will Nieves did not recognize Big Papi way behind, hitting the ball behind him, wasn't even near the fastball, and you did him a favor, throw him a changeup. You know, you could have thrown the curveball in the dirt, you could have thrown a fastball chest high, but the one pitch that he could hit, that's the pitch you threw him, a changeup, up and in. So, you know, it's a lesson you learn, but you know what? You still have a good enough team to come back and win this ball game. Lester has not been sharp, and he can be had if you're just patient enough.
Josh Willingham leads off, bottom of the 4th. Lester 49 pitches, 29 strikes in his 3 innings. Stammen giving up his 3rd homer of the year. The Nats have given up 65. And if Washington, and I hope this doesn't happen, gives up 9 runs tonight, they'll be the first team in baseball to give up 400. And this is game number 69. Good scoop by Nick Green, and he gets Willingham for the first out. Get your red on. Get a Grand Slam flex plan. 4 games, you get 1 free. 5 different flex plans to choose from. Your plan, your games, your seats, and a free game. It's that easy. 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/Grand Slam.
I mean, go back to the Jason Bay at bat. Who's the best hitter on the team right now?
Jason Bay.
Jason Bay. You blow him away, fastballs, off-speed stuff, and then a curveball that's straight out of you-know-where, and he had no shot. And you see John Lester get that ground ball by Elijah Dukes and easily get him out. And then you come right back with David Ortiz and give him way too much respect. This guy, for 150 at-bats this season, couldn't sniff hitting a home run. Yeah, he's a little bit hot right now, but don't over-respect the guy to the point where you give him the one pitch he's looking for to drive out of the ballpark.
Three-1, it's still early. But I think that statement by yours truly held a lot more true in April than it does in June, because this team is just generating very little offense. Here's a pitch taken over below by Anderson Hernandez, who drove in the Nats' only run back in the second. Willingham had walked. Dukes got aboard on the flying bat base hit. Well, Hernandez lofted one in the left center.
Bob, I'm also sure that Ray Knight was talking about, listen, you're going to go through valleys. There's peaks and valleys in this game. And the first 2 months of the season, this offense was on an all-time high peak. And now they're in a valley. And now you have to manufacture runs. You have to have situational hitting, which means don't ground into double plays with runners in scoring position. You got to try to move the runners along when you get a chance. And there's also other times when you go up there and try to swing and hit a home run, you know, with 2 outs and nobody on. So situational hitting, you can still manufacture 3-4 runs a ball game, but you can't get so down in the dumps that you're not hitting the ball that it affects the entire lineup.
Hernandez on a weak ground ball, right side. Nats go quietly. And the Red Sox have taken the momentum, and then their pitcher continued that into the 5th inning of a 3-1 game. Everybody's surviving. 3-1 Red Sox as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Bottom 3 in their order. The Mid-Atlantic Classic is an all-star game at Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, and it'll be at 7:05. Home Run Derby at 5:30. It'll be live on Mass and HD. If you go to the ball game, admission free. Your donation appreciated. Ripken, seniorcollegebaseball.org, or 410-588-9900. Top of the 5th inning, Jacoby Ellsbury for the Red Sox. Nick Green and then John Lester. One and one from Craig Stammen, who threw 23 pitches in that 4th inning. '89 on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ellsbury pulled the ball, bounced out to Anderson Hernandez, first time up. Will Nieves has what appears to be a catching mitt problem.
A equipment malfunction. Broke the pocket of the glove. You don't want that happening if you're going to try to catch a 3rd strike, and it goes right through the pocket to the backstop. So he brings out a nice tan glove.
Evidently, Will knows where the mitts are stashed. He went down there and got it himself.
Oh, I'm sure he's got 2 or 3 right there in the tunnel. He might even have 3 or 4.
1 and 2 to Ellsbury. Nick Johnson, that ball was skipping and spinning on him. Had some severe overspin on it. Nick almost overran it, and he took care of it for the first out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Hi, Teddy.
Maybe that Teddy will win a race sometime. Teddy Roosevelt was up on the video board tonight tossing boxes of tea off the pier while his 3 cohorts were racing. And then for some reason George and Tom got into it out on the warning track, and Abraham Lincoln's the only president that actually ran.
So what you're saying is,
I don't know.
The idea we came up with last night, they used tonight. The old Boston Tea Party tonight.
Something historical, yes.
Okay.
I don't understand what happened with the race, though.
We needed the John Kerry. When Debbie asked him last night, "Have you seen the presidential race?" Not lately. I'm sorry.
I was signing autographs. We heard he was quite popular. I know he was sitting down in the area near Mrs. Dibble last
Yes,
night.
my wife was directly behind with her parents, John Kerry, and she did say he was a perfect gentleman, and people kind of abused the fact that he was so nice, signing autographs, taking pictures.
Guzman, well off the bag. He chose not to plant and throw, and Nick Green will probably get a base hit. All right, let's see what they were trying to accomplish with this. We're not really sure.
What's going on here?
Now, George and Tom are just going to stop and have at it. I guess they were admiring their pictures.
Yeah, I think that's what they were doing. And then Abe said, well, I'm just going to take another win. We're not even going to let Teddy race anymore.
I guess we're going to have to give up on figuring that one out tonight. Base hit all the way for Nick Green, and John Lester looking to sacrifice for the second time this year and in his career. That's a good one. It's perfect, in fact. Nieves to Hernandez, 2-4 on the sack, and a runner in scoring position for Dustin Pedroia.
Great bunt here. American League pitcher. He doesn't get a lot of practice at bunting. Showing you how to do it perfectly. Let the ball come to you.
Yeah, did
be
you
a
see the bat give?
shock absorber with the bat. And that's what a sacrifice is. You're sacrificing that at bat to move the runner up.
Perfect. Top of the order, Pedroia. He doubled to start that rally in the 4th.
Boy, that Exmo, 500 frames per second, but to show proper technique. It's beautiful. Another thing, don't ever hold the bat with your hand. Put your fingers behind the bat, especially with your pitching hand. If you're John Lester, you don't want that left finger out there. I think it was Tom Glavine broke a finger one time bunting.
Yeah.
Hit him right in the finger because he was holding the bat way out front.
Former Philly Pat Burrell is homered for Tampa Bay, and they lead the Phils 2-0 in the 4th. Firestone's a tradition of innovation. And the most hits in interleague baseball. Ichiro.
Go figure.
Brian Roberts really good. We'll see him this weekend.
Yep.
Talked about Derek Jeter last week. Jeter's been out for a while.
This guy likes that league.
Pedroia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Situational hitting. One team does it, the other team doesn't, and it's 4-1 Boston.
I said it before the Tampa Bay series, and I'll say it again. When you're playing very good teams, it kind of is a gauge to see where you are or where you want to be. Once again, American League pitcher laying down the bunt. Dustin Pedroia not trying to hit a home run or hit a double. Just smacks the ball into right to score another run and help his team.
He might be stealing. 12 of 16 this year. And a strike to J.D. Drew. J.D. Drew's the one Boston batter who hasn't done any damage in this series. He's 0 for 5 with 2 walks. I wonder if Terry Francona is thinking about Ellsbury a little higher in the lineup and Drew down a bit. He's batting right around 250. And then Youkilis to follow. That ball's driven to left field. It is over Josh Willingham's head. The Nationals get a huge break as it bounces into the bullpen. Rob, I hate it when we're right sometimes, but we talked earlier about the second and third times around the order.
Well, they're right on Stammen right here. They know he's pumping fastballs away. J.D. Drew takes that fastball away, knows he's not going to be able to pull it for a double or a home run, and he hits a double the other way. You see the batting averages going up, and then third time they explode, almost doubling. And that is just, you need to keep and constantly making adjustments as you go through a batting order, especially one that's as explosive as this Red Sox lineup.
Yeah, tonight, first time through the order, 0 for 9. Second time, 3 hits, a walk, and a sacrifice. And now the first 2 have hit safely. The third time around. And here's Kevin Youkilis. He struck out and walked tonight. And this is dangerous. I mean, the Red Sox are trying to blow this game open right here. It took them till the 8th last night. Youkilis late in reacting to a breaking ball,
which wasn't even close. As Bob said last night, the setup by Kevin Youkilis, hand going up on the bat, feet together. You got a little waggle in his hip.
Bat pointing right at the pitcher. There's Tyler Clippard. Didn't take long to get him up and throwing. He was 4-1 with an 0.92 ERA with a save at Syracuse in 24 games. And he's a right-hander who owns lefties, at least at that level. More on that if and when we see him. 2 balls and a strike. It's only taken the Red Sox 1 inning plus to bat around in the lineup. Ball 3. Jason Bay next. The big strikeout right before the Ortiz home run. Sharply hit. Zimmerman has it. That ball sailed to the outfield side, but Nick was able to grab it. And the Red Sox tack on another with 3 hits. Nationals Park. Hot night, and it's all Red Sox right now. 4-1 as the Nats come up to the bottom of the 5th inning, celebrate the 4th of July weekend here. Nats Braves, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Friday, live music before the game, post-game fireworks. Saturday the 4th, first 20,000 fans are a mini U.S. flag. And on the 5th, it's Family Fun Day, featuring pregame autographs, postgame kids run the bases. 888-632-NATS, Nationals.com. Nieves, Stammen, maybe, and then Willie Harris. The bullpen is quiet. It appears that down 3, Stammen will remain in the game for now.
But that's a good thing if and it's probably going to happen tonight, that you get Clifford right in the game. Get his feet wet, put that behind him, get him acclimated with the big leagues again.
Will Nieves hit into a 6-4-3 double play ball. And the Nats had 2 on 1 out back in the 2nd. And again back to situational hitting. A hitter that doesn't pull the ball for success. I mean, early in the season, it was pretty obvious what was going on. The pitching wasn't very good. The bullpen was in a shambles at times. But the big mystery of the season now has to be, where did the offense go? The Nationals are down to 10th in the league in runs, tied for 6th with 3 other clubs in batting average, and number 9 in home runs. Breaking ball, and Nieves stays with it to foul it over the dugout.
Well, and I've told you this before, the success of the offense was being heavily scouted by our opponents weeks in advance. And those scouting reports go right back to the clubs as they're coming into town, and they prepare for your lineup. Who's hot, who can't hit this, who can't hit that breaking ball, you know, what kind of count are they swinging at certain pitches. And then they go over that kind of stuff, and you have to now make the adjustment back to these pitchers and these teams that have adjusted to how good you were playing as an offense. It's a constant game of adjustments. So if they keep pitching you away, you're going to have to start hitting the ball away.
Nieves gone, and now Stammen coming. Mike Stammen has one of the 3 Nationals hits. Craig Stammen, pardon me. They're all singles. And that was on an 0-2 pitch when he went the other way.
Well, what you've done now, too, with John Lester, who knew after they scored 3 runs in the top of the 4th, he needed a goose egg in the bottom half, and that's exactly what he did. But now he's found his groove. He's locating 94, 95 mile an hour fastballs and his breaking ball well below the hitting plane.
Managed to foul off the breaking ball. Two outs.
Jake Gyllenhaal, actor in attendance, Red Sox fan, but where, Brokeback Mountain fame, where is his girlfriend, Reese Witherspoon?
There's Ted Leonsis, owner of the Capitals. Rob and I had a chance to meet him earlier this hockey season. What a delightful man he is.
Yes, he is. Very gracious, very nice man. They are filming a Washington Nationals baseball movie. Owen Wilson, Reese Witherspoon in the vicinity here.
Near the ballpark, huh?
Near the ballpark. I don't know where it is, but I do know that Mr. Gyllenhaal and Reese Witherspoon have been spotted in the Georgetown area after they're done shooting for the day. But I mean, come on, Owen Wilson as a reliever, a crazy, like, nasty boy kind of guy, and he gets Reese Witherspoon. I don't know. We'll have to see. Kind of questionable. Now, that guy, give him a bad haircut and a few tattoos, he might be able to pull it off.
Well, I'm glad he's behind the screen since he's so focused on the game right now. Having a Red Sox fan talking his ear off.
That guy's
Who would have
probably
thought?
driving him crazy. He wants to watch the game. He's just being nice. So what's Reese like? What kind of kisser is she?
Oh, come on.
Dude, I can't tell you that kind of stuff. I work for the Star.
That's classified. 3-2 to Willie Harris.
I won't tell anybody, and on his badge it says National Enquirer.
I will say something for what the Nationals have done here this year. In between innings, they've toned down the music and all that a little bit. We've got some organ music in the ballpark now, and the reaction to that from our fans has been great. People always complain about some ballparks you can't carry on a conversation. Here you can, even if it's with a Red Sox fan.
The hottest hitter on the Boston Red Sox with a great breaking ball. Then Craig Stammen faces Big Poppy. Change up first pitch. And it's going to be nothing but fastballs from here on out. And Big Poppy nowhere near catching up to these balls. He's hitting these balls as they're going by him. 3-2 misses on the fastball, comes back, hanging change up, and Big Poppy is all over it. So really, Craig Stammen didn't break out the mystery out pitch, his great curveball. Instead, he got beat with his changeup. He doubted either the fastball or the curveball. You cannot doubt your stuff at this level.
And a strike to Jason Bay, leading off the sixth.
Well, I mean, he dominated Bay. First at bat, weak ground ball to third base. Second at bat, blows him away fastballs and a huge curveball. Made him look bad up there. And then you're helping out Big Poppy. And you've got to break that kind of thought process and say, you know what, Big Poppy, he's not even close to Jason Bay. You have to be disrespectful in your brain as a pitcher.
Ron Vallone now. Would he pitch to David Ortiz if Jason Bay does something here?
Possibly.
Or if he doesn't? This may be Stammen starting the sixth, and that would be it. We'll see.
I think you let Stammen face Big Poppy and blow him away.
And a 1-2 coming right down the middle. Jason Bay struck out with the big hook last time, and he couldn't react to the fastball.
Big Poppy's got slider bat speed, and what that means is he's lost a little bit of bat speed over the years. Cannot catch up to the good fastball. Look at this fastball right by Bay. He's looking for a curveball since you struck him out on that last time, and you'll get 92 and like it. Yeah, weak ground ball.
Right off the end of the bat.
It's all right.
Zimmerman will just return it to second base.
Ortiz knows he was overmatched and he shouldn't have got that pitch in that other at bat. But you know what? That's baseball. That's life in the big leagues. You make a lot of mistakes. You just don't want to make them 2 times in a row. Look at that. He's so late on the pitch. Barely gets it out of the infield. He'll take the hit. They were talking about trading for Nick Johnson because Big Poppy was slumping so bad a month ago.
Well, they're standing 5 feet away from each other right now.
Oh, I know. And now everybody's big smiles. Big Poppy's back.
And Jason Varitek. It's now 6-1. The Red Sox did a lot better against John Lannon than the Yankees did. Wow. And the Red Sox are doing much better against Craig Stammen than the Yankees did. That's upper tank.
No, it's just pitch location. We told you he was getting hurt but down low. Tonight he's getting killed up high.
And everything was low early when he had all those ground ball outs. Here comes Ron Vallone with 1 out in the 6th. The verge of doing it to the Nats big again. 6-1 here in the top of the 6th. Ron Vallone will come in to face Jacoby Ellsbury. I mentioned the Red Sox in 7 of the last 8 road games have had 10 hits or more. They're 70% of the way there. 27th appearance for Ron Vallone, who pitched a 1/3 of an inning last night. Touched up for a run on a hit and a walk. Craig Stammen goes 5 1/3, 6 runs on 7 hits. A walk, 5 strikeouts, 2 damaging home runs, 86 pitches, 59 strikes. Second and third time around the order, fatal. Out of play left side. Ellsbury 0 for 2.
Well, this club is just such a well-oiled machine. You have to bring your A game. What does that mean? Thinking on every pitch. When you're hitting, situational thinking. What is Lester going to try to get me out on right here? Can't take anything for granted.
Fastball up and in.
I mean, even mistakes you might get away with the Pittsburgh Pirates or another organization, you're not going to get away with that with the Red Sox. Look at that. 90+ wins for the last 5 years. First manager to take down the Yankees and win the American League East in a decade, Terry Francona.
The only year they didn't win 90 was 06. They won 88. Finished third in their division. Ellsbury gone. Ron Vallone gets him looking. 2 outs here. Nick Green coming up. Time for our Aflac buddy, Medwick, the Duck, and tonight's trivia. Aflac! The 2 players with the most single-season homers on the road all time in the American League.
Now, since it's out of the Red Sox media guide, I'm going to say Big Papi.
Maybe Jim Rice.
Possibly.
Would they both be Boston
Jim Rice's? This was one knock against Jim Rice's on-base percentage on the road was not high enough. No, I'm going to say Babe Ruth. Possibly Babe Ruth. Maybe Manny Ramirez.
And don't forget about Henry Aaron. Of course, Henry never had a 50 home run season.
Jim Rice was very prolific. Yeah. What about Yaz? What about Ted Williams? What am I thinking?
Oh, yeah.
What about Ted Williams?
What about Mark McGuire?
Ted Williams.
Green gets jammed and flies one to center. Here's Willie Harris. And here come the Nats in the bottom of the 6th. Down by 5. Guzman, Zimmerman, and Johnson, the do-ups. For the Nats, and the Red Sox a defensive change we'll tell you about in a moment. We'll pay off our Aflac trivia.
I think Babe Ruth and David Ortiz.
Yeah. Wow.
Woo!
And the numbers nearly over 80 years apart, but the numbers the same.
Identical.
Nice.
Well, I would even throw in the caveat. Brady Anderson's third on that list.
Mark Kotsay for David Ortiz. Wonder what's up with that.
Tell you, the
Making
Phillies
a change
though,
for defense already.
Well, the Phillies right now. Well, yeah, these guys. They've got a pretty deep bench too. Those guys need a few at bats. You might even see Julio Lugo get in this game. sure Dusty Brown will probably get another appearance.
Mike Lowell getting a night off. Christian Guzman 0 for 1 with a walk. The Nats have had 3 hits, all singles. Actually had the lead back in the second.
And even Rocco Baldelli might get in this one.
He ignited that big inning last night with a pinch hit single. 2-1 to Guzman. To his right to shortstop Nick Green. Safe. Guzman gets to the bag. And he's on for the second time tonight. Nick Green didn't do anything wrong. And that was Guzman from the right side of the batter's box beating that one out.
He was flying down the first baseline on that one. There's Christian Guzman hustling right there. Ball in the hole. Smelling base hit.
Here's Zimmerman. Ryan 2 strikeouts tonight. A week ago, Ryan was batting .310.
You know, I just watched it back in real speed. Christian Guzman got down 4-2 from the right side.
Wow.
That's pretty good stuff. Let's check this one more time. This is real speed. Right out of the box on contact. Right through the bag. Yep. Right at 4-2. Very nice. Anything under 4, around 4. If you're coming from the left side, if you do a 3-9, you're flying. Still got great wheels for all these years.
On a breaking ball that's been getting him out, Ryan got a piece of it. Nick Johnson on deck. If you joined us late, Adam Dunn not in the lineup tonight. Had his right wrist examined today. Claims all is well. Getting a night off against a tough left-hander in John Lester. Zimmerman just foul. Nationals on the year 8-24 at home. Pardon me, 12-24. 8-24 is the road record. The Red Sox went over 500 on the road last night, but they own people at Fenway. They've won 25 out of 35 home games this year. 8-5 in interleague. The Nats are 5-8. And a 1-2 to Zimmerman.
There's a little bit more natural ability right there. He pulled that breaking ball 79 foul. Then they try to go up and in 95, and he still fouls it off. So that's Zim's just got to trust himself again. He's a very talented player.
He might plug the gap with this one. It's heading for the scoreboard. Cut off by Ellsbury. Guzman held at third by Pat Listash. Ellsbury able to cut the ball off if it goes to the scoreboard. An easy RBI. And Pat Listash playing it conservatively with nobody out.
Nobody out. Brian Zimmerman smashes this ball into right center field. Ellsbury falls down, picking it up. This is real speed. Right off the crack of the bat, Christian Guzman is running. Well, he's right about at third base when it gets to the cutoff man. Pedroia doesn't have a rocket for an arm, neither does Kotze. But with no outs, your number 4 hitter coming up.
Yep, good call. We'll see how good, I suppose.
Well, I think Nick can either hit a fly ball or a base hit right here and get one of them in. Nick came into today hitting .367 off left-handers, which is outstanding.
And a big slow breaking ball 0-2.
I would have to say, lefty on lefty, that's got to be one of the highest batting averages in the major leagues.
Carlos Beltran and Shane Victorino, the only other guys in the top 10 who aren't right-handed hitters. They're switch hitters against lefties. So Nick's the only lefty on that list. David Wright, Ryan Braun, Pablo Sandoval.
All righties.
Oh, Juan Pierre's on that list. Justin Upton, Clint Barmas, and then Nick's right there with him. Nick drives the ball further than Juan Pierre does. And he's going to have to drive one here. Really, if the Nats want to get back in this game, they have to have both of these runners score here in the 6th inning.
Get the career versus lefties.
Impressive.
That's amazing.
1-2. That's low. This at bat could decide how the rest of this evening goes. Josh Willingham, the right-hander, on deck. Josh is 0 for 1 with a walk, scoring the Nats' only run to this point. Tired of waiting, stepping out, count of 2-2. And a big slow curveball. Guzman is hung up.
Zimmerman's got to get over to third. Yeah, good job.
Both runners will move up. So the runners will change places. Zimmerman to third, Johnson to second on the fielder's choice.
One thing that could stop this run from scoring, a ball right back to the pitcher. He runs right at the base runner, runs him back to third. And you'll see Veritek just make the tag as Zimmerman moves up and Nick moves over to second. But Christian, give him a lot of credit. Got hung up in that pickle long enough to get the runners to move up back into scoring position with 1 out.
1-5-2 on that fielder's choice. And here's Willingham. Another situation where you at least need the fly ball. Boston bullpen getting busy. Lester's in the low 90s with his pitch count here in the 6th inning. He's had a 20-pitch inning here. Manny Del Carmen again. Got the win last night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Willingham. Target away. Josh gets one down the right field line. That will score 2, and the Nationals are back to within 3.
Very nice. Very nice by Josh Willingham.
His second hit since returning to the ball club on Saturday, and he gets RBIs number 14 and 15.
Well, this is a brain cramp by John Lester. He abuses him on breaking balls and then throws him a fastball. Was supposed to be away, jams him. But Josh Willingham, one of the stronger men on this Nationals team, fights it off for a base hit, and that'll be perfect to score 2. Get Josh a lot of credit, a lot of pitch recognition right there. After all those breaking balls, he sees the first fastball, fights it off for a hit.
And Elijah Dukes fouls one. He comes slamming off the limestone right back through the batter's box. Josh Willingham's been pretty productive this year. His batting average up around 250 now. 9 homers and 15 RBIs. Despite a lot of time missed, 3rd on the team in home runs. Yankees have a 3-1 lead at Atlanta. Francisco Cervelli, their young catcher, homer tonight. Jeff Francoeur hit his 5th for the Braves.
One of the 13 home runs Lester's allowed this year, 9 on the road.
Dukes takes one up and away. Phillies still trailing 2-0 on the Pat Burrell homer at Tampa Bay. They're in the 7th already. And the Marlins lead the Orioles 3-2. Middle innings, Mets still lead St. Louis 4-0. 1-2 to Dukes, and he's gone. Strikeout number 6 for John Lester. Join us here at the ballpark on Thursday. It'll be our tie drive tomorrow. Fans can drop off new and worn ties in good condition at the center field gate. Either new ones or gently used, as we call it. From the time the gates open through the 4th inning, all ties and dress accessories will benefit Career Gear. To this point, Rob, I've picked out 3 from my closet that I'm willing to part with, and there might be another couple tomorrow. I know you're having a hard time believing so few. I've seen,
your words, not mine.
I've seen a couple of yours I give away.
You've got some nice power ties. You know.
I'm giving away my Jerry Garcia tie, which I've had for a long time. Here's Julian Tavares.
I'm just thinking of Randy Myers, my former teammate.
Did he own a tie?
Well, he owned one tie, and it was a fish tie. Remember that one that was a big fish?
Yeah.
And he wore it on every trip.
That is one ugly thing.
That is. But he just did that because that was Randy. Oh, we have to wear ties? I'll wear a fish tie. Okay.
Anderson Hernandez 1 for 2 with an RBI hit tonight.
The one trip, if you didn't have a 100% silk tie, we were on a bad losing streak. Everybody got their tie clipped at the knot.
Hernandez down the line, just foul.
That was actually one of my favorite road trips, though. On the charter coming back, and they'd walk up to you, look at your tie, not silk, not 100% snip.
Wow.
So it was pretty cold.
Rob Dibble talking wardrobe here at Nationals Park just beyond the top of the hour. Debbie Taylor, I'm Bob Carpenter. All the Masson crew gathered for this one. Jordan Zimmerman, John Smoltz tomorrow night. John Smoltz, by the way, will be maybe in a position to win his 211th game.
There's a nice tie.
Hernandez right at the third baseman Youkilis. Nats are gone, but Josh Willingham brings in a couple with a big 2-run hit down the line. It's a 6-3 game. Josh Willingham at least gives the Nats a chance to match those 2 runs the Red Sox got in the top of the 6th inning. So a 6-3 ball game, up to the bullpen now. Got to keep it close.
Yeah, because they have an excellent bullpen, maybe one of the best bullpens in baseball. They have a couple of closers, maybe even a third. If you throw in Okajima down there, who's the bridge to Saito and Papelbon. But you know what? Maybe we'll see Tyler Clippard tonight. Get his feet wet in this ball game would be a great one to come up against this Boston Red Sox lineup. But our bullpen now, hold us close, give us an opportunity to win this ball game.
If you didn't hear about it earlier, Nationals designated for assignment Kip Wells and brought Tyler Clippard up here where he was lights out at AAA in the bullpen.
Absolutely. I mean, he's making the transition from starter to bullpen guy, and now he comes up here, what did you say, about 19 scoreless innings. So let's see how he can do against the big boys up here in the major leagues.
All right, we're going to have more as Ron Vallone is being removed as he came out to warm up. 7th inning, straight ahead. Ball game far from over now that the Nats have scored a couple. Julio Lugo bats for the pitcher Lester at the top of the 7th. So Maniacta counters with Julian Tavares, who misses outside. Tavares the loser last night, mainly because of the Ryan Zimmerman throwing error that allowed the unearned run to score in the 7th. The difference that made it 4-3 in the eventual 13-3 ball game. Pardon me, 11-3 ball game. But who's counting?
If you lose 1-0, you still lose.
Yeah. I don't imagine 13-3 is any more painful than 11.
No.
The Nationals are getting frighteningly close to that 400 run mark given up this year, which no other ball club is even near. Julio Lugo, 33 years of age now. Houston for 4 years and not here for long. Looks back at Bob Davidson, who punched him out to start the 7th.
Some very nice breaking balls by Julian Tavares right here. Northrop Grumman on the pitch track. That is 83 on the corner. Bob Davidson not messing around. Yeah, I would think about what happened to the hitting instructor for the Red Sox early in this ball game. Dave Magadan was thrown out of the ball game. You should probably be swinging up there if you're a Red Sox hitter.
And Tavares throws a sinker. Pedroia 2 for 3 tonight, double RBI single, a run scored. Somehow 13 more people got in the ballpark tonight than last night. There's a new record. 41,530.
They don't squeeze people in phone booths anymore, do they?
I don't know. Be hard pressed to find a phone booth anymore.
Yep. Where can you squeeze 13 more people? Well, over there on top of the building over there.
So just over 83,000 for the first 2 games of the series. Top of the order, Pedroia, and he fouls one off to the right side, 2-2. We were told before this series started that more tickets were sold for tomorrow night's game than any of the others. So Craig Stammen's outing in 2 parts, the good part and the not so good part, by Johnny and Ray. Straight ahead Nats Extra post game. Live post game with Manny, Smoltz, and Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow night. And that ball well hit to center. Willie Harris back. Plenty of time, plenty of room. John Smoltz tomorrow evening, Debbie, as he makes his return to the big leagues.
That's right, Bob. And for John Smoltz, it'll be his Red Sox debut. This is his 21st season in Major League Baseball. And he talked before the game about Stan Kasten. And, of course, the two of them spent a lot of time together when John was pitching for the Braves. And he said that what Stan is doing here with the Nationals, building this team around great young pitching, is very similar. And he said it mirrored what he did in Atlanta. And we'll hear from John tomorrow. Bob?
John Smoltz, 210 wins, 154 saves, and 21 wins, 17 saves in his career against the Montreal Washington franchise. Here's J.D. Drew, 1 for 3 with a double. And that's got a break that saved them a run, maybe more, back in the 5th when Drew's double hit the track and bounced into the bullpen. It would have scored Pedroia. They were both stranded, and the Nats still have a fighting chance, down by 3 here in the 7th. And a 2-out walk. And all that coming up tomorrow night at 7:05. First pitch, Nats Extra from the left center field plaza at 6:30 with Johnny and Ray. Tavares with a good fastball. Youkilis couldn't pull the string. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a run scored. Yankees have increased their lead at Atlanta now 4-1. Top of the 7th, trying to keep pace with the Red Sox. They're 5 back. Toronto's also 5 back, and they have a healthy 7-2 lead over Cincinnati tonight. In fact, while the Red Sox have won their last 3, the Yankees have lost 3 in a row. In the air to right field, Elijah Duke's drifting with it. And that's it for the Red Sox in the top of the 7th. They've stranded just 3, and they lead the Nats 6-3.
score 6-3. Boston Red Sox up on the Washington Nationals. 7 hits for the Red Sox, 6 for the Nationals. David Ortiz, 2 for 3, 3-run homer, his 7th of the season, and actually his 6th in the last 15 games. Couple of runs. Varitek 1 for 3 with also a huge home run, his 11th, and then Josh Willingham, a huge hit, 2 RBIs, a run, and a walk tonight, and that's your scoring. 6-3, 3-run lead right now. New pitcher in the game, Justin Masterson. See him on the season, 19 games, 2-2 record. Big, strong, right-handed pitcher, can also start. Once again, the depth of the bullpen and the bench of the Boston Red Sox shows you why they are in first place comfortably in the American League East. Screech getting a little love from the ladies.
I do think that's a future destination for us, don't you think, to do a ball game?
I love that idea, the red porch, and then to the right of that is a kind of a green monster of its own. Very cool up there. There you see people enjoying the sights from center field.
Man, that's a long way from home plate. Alberto Gonzalez hitting for Will Nieves here in the bottom of the 7th. So Maniac is going to pull out the stops to try to get back in this game. It'll have a hitter for Tavares in the next spot. Alberto's been a great pinch hitter this year. Gonzalez 5 out of 6 with 4 RBIs. Joe Beimel is throwing. And the Nats are down by 3. They've got 9 outs with which to work. Justin Masterson here in the 7th. It can't be easy for a right-handed batter to hang in against this guy.
No, not a big, strong kid like this. It's throwing in the low to mid 90s. Looks like he's all arms and legs on you. Get that curveball.
Yeah, you think it's a fastball, then it's gone.
But see, that was part of my deception. I threw the leg up high, so you try to look at that and then throw the pitch. Anything you can do as a pitcher to take the hitter's mind off of hitting the ball, that's how you get your edge. It's not a big edge at this level. That's why crazy kind of worked for me. Seriously, I mean, you know, I've told you this. I faced almost 2,000 hitters. I only hit 12, but
there was a fear.
There was a fear there. There's an awareness. This guy's a loose cannon. He's crazy. Well, first year and a half in the big leagues, throwing my last warm-up pitch to the backstop had the effect I intended it to. He's crazy. I don't want to hit. Well, that's good. You know, Al Hrabowski would do his little deal. He had Goose Gossage. He was just intimidating. Not only with the fastball, but, you know, everything coming at you and the mustache and the whole 9 yards. You know, yeah. How about Jackson?
Bard hits it well, and that's a fair ball. It'll hit in front of J.D. Drew. Josh is going to have to hurry to second base, and he's in there with a 1-out double. So the Nats have 2 hits in 3 at-bats from the number 9 spot in the order tonight.
Josh Bard been doing a great job at the plate, getting that swing down. We'll pull this by Kotze, who's normally an outfielder. Now at the later stages of his career has become a backup first baseman. And also played the outfield in a pinch.
Yeah, then you had Lee Arthur Smith, who would lull you to sleep coming into the game.
But he told me the reason for that. He said that one time Don Zimmer called him in and didn't want him, wanted somebody else. And he was running in, had to stop, turn around, had to go back out to the bullpen. He was embarrassed. So that's why he always did it, to make sure he was the one coming into the game. Then 455 saves later, 478 or whatever. Yeah, obviously, you knew when Big Lee Arthur was coming in the game. One of my favorites, too. One of the nicest people, but like 6'6" and monstrous physique, throwing 95. He was a Red Sox for a little bit at the end of his career.
Yeah. All right, Willie Harris now 0-2. Target up and away. He threw it inside. Diving play, Kotze. Didn't look like an outfielder on that, did he?
Well, now you know why Big Papi was replaced by Kotze.
The Red Sox have a knack for making the right play and the right swing at the right time.
Well, and Mark Kotze is known for being an aggressive outfielder, would throw his body at anything, and over the years has beat himself up. But right here is just an exceptional. Look at the Exmo right there, laying out, full extension, knocks the ball down. What do you do next? You got to pick up the target, find the pitcher, and make the 3-1 shovel pass.
If that ball gets by him, the tying run's in the batter's box right now. Bard would have scored. Willie Harris would at least be on second base. And you've got Christian Guzman coming in, who had a base hit last time and a walk tonight, 1 for 2. He's looking for his 7th consecutive multi-hit game. Fastball up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Guzman, going back to the last season, at one point has more than anybody in baseball. Overall, to the beginning of 08, second only to Ichiro. And Dustin Pedroia is in there too, the reigning American League MVP.
Look at the big boy there from Minnesota, though, Justin Morneau. 79 multi-hit games in the last couple of years, showing that MVP season a few years ago was no fluke.
Right. Yeah, he was in the voting race last year.
He was second. I was wrong. I thought it was Youkilis. I forgot Morneau. And then Joe Mauer was 4th. How do you win the batting title and you're 4th in the MVP?
Your team didn't go to the playoffs. That's how.
They played the 1-game playoff with the White Sox, though.
True.
Limited salary, 88 wins again for the Twins last year.
Nobody gets more out of their payroll than the Minnesota Twins.
How good of a manager is Ron Gardenhire?
Great guy.
I mean, he comes in after Tom Kelly.
Nice. Guzman will plug the gap. And the tying run will be in the batter's box. He's at second, digging for 3. It's a 6-4 game, and Guzman's at third base. And for Christian Guzman, his 4th triple this year. Now we'll see if Ryan Zimmerman can make this a 1-run game.
There's the pitch. It's up and in to Christian Guzman. He picks a great situation. We talked about that. Much better situational hitting tonight. Time for him to show a little power, and he hits a triple and drives in a run. Mike Jackson. Remember Mike Jackson?
Yeah.
Would pull the hat down really, really low.
Yeah. Seattle for a while.
Yeah, Seattle for a while, but excellent reliever. Now off the field, one of the nicest people I've ever met, but on the field, one of the toughest competitors you could ever face.
Yeah.
John Farrell goes out there to talk to his young reliever.
Well, I asked the question last inning, are the Nationals back in this game? Is this a brand new game? Here's Zimmerman representing the tying run. 2 outs here in the 7th. Good swing back fastball to the outside corner.
No better place than for right now. A nice home run by Zimmerman. Magnum ZI. Come on, pull it out. Let's go.
And a breaking ball hit to left center. He didn't get it. Oh. Right up against the wall for Ellsbury. That far away from a tie game. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Acura. Acura Advance. It's the name across the front of the jersey that makes the big difference. And here is the top of the 8th inning at Nationals Park. Another record crowd tonight, 41,530. Josh Bard stays in, of course, to catch. And then pitching and batting 8th will be Joe Beimel, his battery mate, who will make his first appearance here against the Red Sox. And for the Sox, Jason Bay, Mark Kotsay, who might eventually save this game with that play he just made, and then Jason Varitek. It was interesting. Terry Francona made the move for defense when he was 5 runs up, costing David Ortiz an at bat here in the 8th. But Mark Kotsay has rewarded him handsomely. Overpowering changeup. Probably Joe's fastball, just a little bit off at 85.
With these crafty lefties, how can you tell what that was? It's like Julian Tavares.
Yeah, I know. Nothing's ever the same speed or the same elevation.
Or everything's moving. I mean, Joe throws across his body. He's got deception on his side. Got the whole beard and mullet going on. Rock star look. He might throw you a fork ball, change up, take something off the fastball, throw you a BP fastball. Like that changeup right there. Bye-bye.
Jason Bay 0 for 4 tonight. Here's our freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Well, this might be the play of the game if it stays this way, Bob. Right here, Willie Harris hits a smash down the line. Mark Kotsay dives. Check out the freeze cam right here by Coors Light. We zoom in on that Mark Kotsay filling in for Big Poppy. Big Poppy, there's no way he makes that play. A few years ago, boy, he was one of the most sought after guys, center fielder with the A's and the Braves, and showing the versatility, able to move to first base now.
In the other right, a ways to go for Dukes. Elijah will get there, and he has it for the second out. You were talking about closers a few minutes ago, Rob. Phillies expected to get Brad Lidge back tomorrow.
He's been throwing down in the minor leagues, I think down in Clearwater, down in Florida, testing that knee.
Jason Worth hit a homer for the Phillies in the top of the 7th at Tampa Bay. Rays 2, Phils 1, with the home team batting bottom of the 8th. Atlanta's making a comeback against the Yankees. The Yankees led 4-1. It's now 4-3. And here in Washington, a ball game a lot closer than it was just 2 innings ago. 6-4 Red Sox. They've been out hit now by the Nats, 8-7. And here's Varitek with 2 outs, bases empty. Joe Beimel had him reaching. He hits it well, but there's room out there, and Josh Willingham has it. A 1-2-3-8. The Nats are right back in the dugout. Johnson, Willingham, and Dukes. attending tonight. Lots of time left, and we're going to tell you about tomorrow night. John Smoltz season debut. Last year he got his 3,000 strikeout against the Nats, who promptly went out and beat him in Atlanta that night. He's now with Boston. Jordan Zimmerman is winless. Hard to believe in his last 9 starts. 2-3 with a 5.03 ERA. Johnny and Ray from left center field get you going at 6:30. Nats Extra. Right out by where our camera is there. Seemingly levitating in midair. Masterson still pitching. Nick Johnson leads off bottom 8. He's still in there because 2 right-handers follow, and Nick Johnson can't tie the game. Masterson will spin him out of there. Nick Johnson is 0 for 8 in this series. By the way, the daily interleague countdown. The National League gained 1 more game last night going into this June 24th. And Nick fouls one back. The American League 96, National League 89. Right-hander is Ramon Ramirez, and the left-hander, no doubting that delivery, Hideki Okajima. Nick gets jammed. Right side. You see Pedroia get his body behind that ball. He wasn't taking any chances. And the Nats are down to 5 outs. Follow Washington and its baseball team on your iPhone and your iPod Touch. MLB.com at Bat 2009 featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. Josh Willingham, a walk, a run, and a 2-run single tonight. Now batting .250. Big, strong Elijah Dukes next. Nats need a runner or 2 here. He's got a lot of movement on that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It's like Rob always says, 90 with movement better than 95 straight.
95 is pretty good. You see Joel Zumaya with the strikeout right there on Willingham. Joel Zumaya hit 104 on the gun. But what did he get beat with on the home run? 83-mile-an-hour slider.
Let's trick him.
Yeah, I'm going to trick this guy through 104. This is a 1-2 breaking ball right there, just dropping off the charts. Masterson hooking him from below 3/4. Call that Laredo from the side. But when you're about 6'8" and that arm probably about 40 inches long, got to make the right-handers a little bit uncomfortable.
I guess somebody looked at a map of Texas one day and decided that was the same angle as that sidearm hook. It's right about that part of the state. And there's a fastball by Dukes, and the Nats are just not making contact.
Well, probably the same guy that thought a curveball should be called Uncle Charlie or fastball's a powder river.
Yeah.
What is a powder river?
I don't know, but it sounds pretty dry to me.
Dry and fast.
And Uncle Charlie, you don't want him at the family reunion. He's not real friendly.
Your Uncle Charlie.
Dukes is 1 for 3 tonight. He's quick enough with those wrists and strong enough to pull that bat back after making that offer. And a 2-2. Way outside. Right now with the left-hander on deck, Anderson Hernandez. For the Nationals, a walk indeed as good as a hit. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 8 in a 6-4 game. Red Sox scoring 5 of their runs on the long ball tonight. Completely overthrew that one. He had Dukes behind in the count. Elijah's on for the 2nd time tonight. And Anderson Hernandez, with not much power, will not represent the tying run. Adam Dunn will. This will get a reaction. Adam Dunn is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year.
And he'll probably get to face Okajima for trouble.
Lefty-lefty matchup coming. Masterson will go an inning and 2/3. And with 2 outs in the 8th, lefty-lefty matchup. Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. Well, they're standing. They're sitting. They're waiting. This is interesting. Bottom of the 8th inning. Adam Dunn against the left-hander, Hideki Okajima. He pitched an inning and a 1/3 scoreless with 1 walk on a big double play ball in the game last night. So Okajima came into the ball game in the 7th. Did not face Adam Dunn. He got the double play on that Guzman line drive after Gonzalez had walked. Turns one over, almost a screwball look, 76 miles an hour for a strike.
Well, he's got a very quick delivery, but the ball doesn't explode out of his hand. It goes poof. 76 changeup. Maybe about an 85 mile an hour curveball.
Adam didn't see the ball very well. He was pretty tardy.
Tardy on 87 after that off-speed thingamajig, whatever you call it, Kojima's first pitch. Japan, they call it the shuto.
Wow.
It was outside, but it was still a great pitch.
Great 0-2 pitch.
0-2. 10 mile an hour slower than the last pitch. Just all deception coming your way if you're a left-hander.
One and two to Dunn. A little bit outside, 87.
Well, just outside of our box. And Bob Davidson agrees. Oh, yeah, that's a good 6 inches off the plate. Nice frame job there by Varitek.
And a 2-2 pitch coming. Off speed, Dunn offered and took it. This will give Dukes a chance to run with 2 outs. Ronnie Belliard's in the on-deck circle to hit for the pitcher. And the Red Sox do have another right-hander ready. Ramon Ramirez waiting. 3-2 to Dunn. That's high. 2 on, 2 out. And it's possible Okajima has faced his only hitter. They will announce Ronnie Belliard now. He'll hit for Joe Beimel, who got that real quick. 1-2-3, top of the 8th. No move by Terry Francona.
I think he likes his man Okajima probably a little bit more than Ramirez right now.
Ronnie Belliard as a pinch hitter this year, 1 for 5. Oh, pardon me. I was looking at Josh Bard's numbers just above his. 3 for 18. Not very good, but he does have a pinch homer and 4 RBIs. So Ronnie will unleash a long line drive, and the Red Sox, Rob, are in their no doubles defense here.
No doubles defense. Big slow breaking ball there by Okajima.
Adam Dunn's got to get a good lead off first in case there's an extra base hit. Now it's on a play to the right side. Oh, 2. One and 2 to Belliard. And Ronnie hits one high in the air, left field side, and it'll get out of play.
Well, that's the thing. Ronnie Belliard's got quick enough hands to wait a millisecond longer with Okajima. Okajima's not going to blow it by him at 97. So if he can recognize the fastball changeup, rotation, and the big curveball. All those years of experience, Ronnie. Way to stay alive. Tampa, Frank Robinson, Hall of Famer, told me he doesn't cut down his swing, or didn't when he was a player. He just cut down his zone, pitches that he could handle. So he made his zone smaller.
Tough to do that sometimes when you're behind in the count. That takes a special hitter right there.
Well, you know you want to protect and make contact, but
Belliard on a play right side.
And gave him a change up. Down and away.
Tying runs are on base. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. And Belliard took a home run swing and hit it straight back.
Well, that was a straight fastball. Ronnie recognized it early enough. Got a great piece. Very, very close.
Got him on a breaking ball. 2 walks, and the Nats cannot get the big hit they need. 6-4 Red Sox into the 9th. In a row the first time through the lineup, but then the Red Sox made some big-time adjustments, and an ill-located changeup, and then a fastball to Veritek. The 2 big pitches accounting for 5 runs in this game. Christian Guzman, 2 more hits tonight, his 7th consecutive multi-hit game. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Well, and Craig Stammen had only allowed 2 home runs in his 6 previous starts, and doubled that tonight with Ortiz and Veritek.
Harris is at second. Elijah Dukes moves to center field. Adam Dunn stays in to play left. That moves Josh Willingham to right field. And because the Nats earlier had hit for Anderson Hernandez with Dunn, Willie Harris just gets his second baseman's glove. He can play anywhere. Here's Mike McDougall, who pitched into the 9th inning Saturday. No activity since. Have to keep this a 2-run game. It's the bottom of the Boston order with Jacoby Ellsbury leading off, and then Nick Green, then the pitcher's spot. And I think everybody knows who's getting ready in the bullpen. Rob, what's the toughest thing about being a closer? And there's Jonathan Papelbon. when you're not getting save opportunities? How crucial is it just to get some work?
It's the biggest problem when you're not winning, because you're going to be pitching in 2-run down ball games, tie ball games. Great play right there by Nick Johnson.
Nick's got the ball and the bag.
But you want to still pitch every other day, and you got to keep your breaking stuff sharp. Whether you throw 100 or you throw 85, you need to be out there often. Nick Johnson, one of the best first basemen, fielding first baseman in the big leagues. You see it right there, like a cat. I never liked working on the side either. Some guys could not get in a game and throw on the side, and earlier in my career sometimes they'd save you for the chance that never came, even as a reliever, a setup guy or a long reliever or whatever, and they say, oh, you want to pitch after the game? So now the fans are going out through the gates and you're out there throwing in bullpen.
Guzman handles Nick Green's grounder, 2 outs. Debbie Taylor with a minor league report.
Well, down on the farm, right-handed pitcher Colin Ballister, a bright spot for Syracuse. He's got wins in 5 consecutive starts. In his last 7 outings, his ERA is 2.00. And how about Garrett Mock? He fanned 10 batters in a complete game. 3-hit shutout on Monday against Columbus, the AAA affiliate of the Indians. In his last 2 starts, he's 2-0 with a 0.60 ERA and 17 strikeouts, making a nice transition from reliever to starter. Garrett Mock, Bob.
Yeah, back to starter. Manny Acta said yesterday the Nationals have always truly envisioned him as a starting pitcher. But sometimes what happens at the major league level influences what happens to young pitchers and how versatile they may be.
Yeah, and last year was his first year as a reliever, and it was up at the major league level, and he was not comfortable in that role.
Well, tough place to learn, eh?
It is. It's a tough place to make a transition, but that's how you used to earn your stripes back in the day. You come up to the big leagues, you're not going to just jump into the rotation. Go in the bullpen for a little bit.
Now.
Absolutely. Not everybody's cracked up to be a reliever at the major league level.
And ball hit by Rocco Baldelli to right. As Josh Willingham still getting used to that reverse cut on the ball. Here we go, bottom of the 9th. Bard, Harris, Guzman in a 2-run game. Boston 4-8-0. Washington. The Red Sox have stranded only 3 runners tonight. They've done a good job. Now Jonathan Papelbon will be after his 17th save of the year. He's tossed a scoreless 9th Sunday to get his first win since last year at Toronto. But in each of his last 9 outings, Rob Dibble, 9 innings, hasn't given up a run.
No, when he's on, he's one of the top closers in the game. Throws upwards 99 miles an hour. Great curveball. His approach even better. He is going to attack the hitters. Has allowed 3 home runs in 30 innings this year. But the league, or both leagues, only hitting .226 off of him.
Strikeouts 1 batter per inning. 32 in 32 and 16 walks. For the Nats, Josh Bard, Willie Harris, Christian Guzman. 3 left-handed batters who are swinging the bat pretty well right now. Of course, Bard and Guzman switch hitters. And then if anybody gets on, Ryan Zimmerman, who nearly hit the ball out of the park his last time up. So there's your guy in the hole, and then your guy sitting on the bat rack.
Well, I hope that Ryan Zimmerman is visualizing a home run right now. He's got his bat, his gloves are already on, he's ready to go.
Josh Bard won at bat tonight, a double. He goes up pumping. He's caught Jonathan Papelbon, so he knows the ball's going to be around home plate. The gun said 95 on that.
Lefties hitting 175 off of Papelbon. Righties, as expected, hitting better, 288 off of him.
Up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
This is a little puzzling, though. Has only retired the leadoff man 29 times he's faced him. 16 retired for 55%.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. So hopefully.
Up and away, ball 2. This is a big pitch here. And Papelbon got the fastball that jammed him, but it was in the strike zone, and the count's 2-2. So we arrive at the 10 o'clock hour here at Nationals Park in Washington. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, Debbie Taylor, our Masson HD crew. It's a 2-run game. The Nats have out-hit the Red Sox 8-7, but trail 6-4. Facing Jonathan Papelbon after his 17th save. As a record crowd awaits. Fastball away, fly ball to left. Scampering after it, Jason Bay, foul ball, 1 out. Here's Willie Harris. Willie in the leadoff spot tonight, 0 for 4. He had come into this ball game 5 for 15 over his last 4 games.
Well, if Papelbon's going to throw your fastballs away, just try to smack that thing into left field any way you can. You got to get the get around
97
right
with movement. Yikes.
So you can bring the tying run to the plate. Well, he's a no-nonsense guy. You see him, he'll take a deep breath and take another breath to get his composure and just attack the strike zone.
35 saves 3 years ago at the age of 25. He could be doing this for the Red Sox for a long, long time. 129 saves, including his 16 this year. Varitek wanted that fastball up. He missed well off the plate away. 1-2. Gets a good whack at that ball. It's got some carry on it, but Ellsbury's covering everything. 2 outs. How close have the Nationals been tonight? Christian Guzman, our fourth drive of the game, 2 innings ago. He goes gap right center, but that was right after the great play by Mark Kotze. And now the Red Sox are 1 out away from winning the series.
We'll give the Nationals a lot of credit, Bob. They made a game of this. Looked like it was going to get ugly. Yep. And Zimmerman just missed a home run by a hair. Willie Harris right there just missed a home run by a hair. This is more the Nationals that we've come to expect.
Guzman trying to put the ball in play quickly. Red Sox trying to win their 19th road game of the year and their 44th game overall. Trying to extend their winning streak to 4 games. That's it. A much better played game for the Nationals against the Red Sox tonight, but Rob Dibble, the home run ball ruined the evening.
Yeah, it was a couple of mistakes by Craig Stammen. He'll learn from